Here we are in Geelong. Not a sunny day, but plenty to like about the breeze that's pulsing in. Should provide some wonderful racing, and Jack has the latest.
Very exciting down here today, Nick. We've got absolutely ideal conditions in Geelong. We've got about 13 to 16 knots of pressure, which is perfect for these machines. Flat water, and it's going to be some great racing. So, interestingly, ID has the little main on. That's the only change that I can see from all the other boats. So keep an eye on them. They could be the rocket ship out of the start line here now.
Interesting to see for the first time one of the SuperFoilers taking a risk and doing something the other ones aren't. Taking a look at the conditions, it is overcast. We have a southerly blowing 14 to 17 knots. That is perfect for superfoiling. And it is the perfect sporting backdrop here in Geelong as well, home to one of the AFL's top teams, the Geelong Cats. Their stadium not far away from our stadium, Tess, where the best in the world of sailing are about to go flying.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting racing, Nick. Optimum conditions for the superfoilers to reach maximum speeds, and setting up for the start of the race. Tech 2 flying in here.
Speed on, go behind Nate. Racing, guys, lean hard. I can't see, lean hard. Hey, let's go. No overlap. Up. Hey. Go fast, lean hard.
Aidan Menzies with his hands pointing towards the heavens. They've got a protest on Euroflex. They're spitting chips already.
Okay, we're going to do a 2 tack after the gun.
He's got a penalty.
7. 5 seconds to go. Euroflex will have to take the penalty after the start.
Nice and slow here, guys. We're going to let them all go so we can 2 tack.
Well, Tessa, what went wrong there? Euroflex, they're usually perfect. They've dropped the ball massively.
Yeah, Tech 2 set up for a late approach into the start, and as they accelerated, their middle hull established an overlap with Euroflex there, and they tried to push them up into the wind. Euroflex didn't avoid, so they've been given a penalty for the windward leeward rule.
Okay, good pressure now. Bring on the chase, boys. They're just doing that to dick with us, I think.
The skipper of Euroflex clearly not happy with that decision, but it has opened the door for the remaining 5 superfoilers, and it's a jailbreak with Pavement leading the way ahead of Record Point and Tech 2. Euroflex are more than 200 metres in their wake, Tess.
Yeah, Euroflex have just got to put that in the past now and get sailing. They know they're fast. There's lots of opportunities on the course with the pressure.
There are opportunities aplenty, and Pavement's making the most of it at the moment in the lead here.
Yeah, pressure's in front, a little bit lingering inside. Gus goes on the nose now.
You can see their boat accelerate as they run into that pressure there. Record Point off to an awesome start here on the inside with a nice lane, and onboard Tech 2 working hard here. Aidan Menzies on the main sheet, sheeting on to find a high mode.
Gus on still, that'll increase now and then decrease.
Any closer to Dan Morris there, and I would have had to ask him to brush his teeth. We are right on board with Pavement, and they're putting the meters in. This is spectacular racing, the best in the business, doing what they do best. How good is this?
Any more inside puff? A little bit, eh? Go, boys. We're actually going to be, everyone's going to be in the zone here.
A lot of congestion into the top mark here.
We're going to be in the zone here. We've got to tack underneath Pavement, okay? Stand by. Hey!
Record Point think they've got inside around this first top gate.
Hey! I was in the zone there!
Phil Robertson in the zone, just ask him.
Stop it!
Euroflex flying in with speed.
Boys, protest! Got to go right mark now. Board's good.
Got the board.
I'll get the main. My main. Protest!
Copy that. Wait forward.
Plenty of tension on board right now. Euroflex have just come from last, and all of a sudden they're throwing their weight around at the front.
They had great pressure coming into the top gate here, and with this congestion, Record Point thought they had inside room around the top gate but didn't, so have tacked, and now they're rounding the right mark. So we've got an equal split in the fleet. These 3 boats are rounding the right top gate here, and the other 3 have rounded the left.
One on us now.
Nathan Outeridge calling the breeze perfectly there. One man that knows all about Corio Bay's breeze is Jimmy Wispowski. What's going on out there, Jimmy?
You can see right there what we're looking for are these dark patches on the water, and right there Euroflex has picked up an awesome gust and they're shot out of a cannon. They're down the track, million miles an hour. If you're not foiling right now, they're going to put hundreds of metres on you if you don't get up and going.
Just like Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last. It's Talladega Nights on Geelong's waterways.
Gonna need 2 quick jibes down here, aren't we? Yeah, almost got us.
The time to do the jibe is when you're in good pressure here. Euroflex flying, so they're connecting the puffs to really gain on this leg.
Yeah. Like, yeah, anytime, boys.
Setting up for a jibe here. Goobs on the bow, pulling the foil down. Oh, almost slipped over there.
Sorry, boys.
Didn't quite nail the foiling jibe.
Going for an apology there, but nothing to apologise about from Nathan Outeridge. Jack, this is a masterclass from Euroflex.
Yeah, it's lovely down here, Nick, as I said earlier, but we've got the Euroflex, went from dead last to first in one beat. They've carried the pressure all the way into the top mark, got around cleanly and foiled into their jibe that they've just got through. So here they come. Oh no, they just ran out of pressure, just as I said that, and the Pavement takes the lead going absolutely flat stick.
Oh, mama! Pavement are here and they're sending it down the course at the moment. This is good to watch.
Keep sailing this mode. 2, 1, just there. Big shoulder stand.
Big weight out here.
Big sharp 1, sharp 2, 1, big pressure.
See the angle change as that pressure hits the boat there, and they can sail lower towards the marks and really pick up speed.
Hold trab.
A lot of talk on board about which bottom gate mark they're going to round here to stay in the pressure.
Euroflex playing catch up. This is the machine leading the way.
5 seconds to round up.
Pavement in the lead now, doing everything right. They can't put a foot wrong.
Trap priority, nice.
And this is beautiful to watch. And Clean Mate, they can't do anything wrong either. Oh, but Jimmy, they've just rounded and touched down there.
Yeah, so around these bottom marks, there's about 10 or 15 things you have to do all at once perfectly. And what you see Euroflex doing there is that. So if you get the rudder lift or the main foil lift slightly out of their ratios, then the boat's going to launch into the sky and come crashing down, which you saw from Olivia there.
On board here, she's rounded up through the max power zone, just put too much lift in the rudder foil, and the bow flies up, crashes down onto the water. The crew have done a great job to stay on board.
You want to lead, Clean Mate? Yep, anytime.
They're opting to tack first. They want to head out back to the middle before Clean Made.
Olivia Price will be sweating on this one. She knows the Dream Team are closing in. Her gap at the moment just 11 seconds to our third place sitter. Pavement's ahead, Clean Mate second, Euroflex third. It's quite the skirmish. It's going to light up in Geelong on the other side of this.
Gust on 2, 1, little one now. Easy trap, it's good.
Reese Mara on the main sheet, super vocal here. This is the leading boat. They've got 11 seconds on Clean Made.
Gust on the inside, 2, 1, pressure on now.
And they are lighting up Corio Bay at the moment, and it's all thanks to some great teamwork, communication across the boat, keeping Steve Thomas dialed in, Jimmy.
So we've got a great shot here. Steve Thomas on Pavement doing 20 knots upwind. He just come around the bottom gate, done one tack and perfectly laid that start-finish line again. So he's on his way to the top mark.
Steve Thomas is very accurately steering different modes, different angles to the wind to chase the pressure and to stay in at the longest here, doing a great job of it.
Gust on.
Reese Mara calling the breeze. The effect on the SuperFoiler is negotiating these waters like a slithering, slippery snake. She's pointing up and she is flying, and so too Euroflex Tess. Looks like they're shutting the gate a little bit and closing gauge on Clean Made.
Yeah, that's right, Nick. CleanMade have overlaid coming into the middle gate here, which has allowed Euroflex to make up some ground, and Euroflex has got that leeward position, a bit of freedom to be able to put the bow down and build speed.
It's by no means over though. Olivia Price will be stalking this machine, the Euroflex. She'll have them in her sights all the way up here.
Early dive. 2 less manoeuvres.
Reese Mara, main sheet on pavement there, processing all the information. They need to be careful with their boat position, protect themselves against the rest of the fleet, so they're staying in between Euroflex and CleanMade and the top mark, and having a think about how they can minimise their tacks approaching the top gate.
Tess, they've got plenty of time to think about it, Euroflex and CleanMade. They are 330 plus metres behind our front runner pavement. That's what it looks like stretching across the Geelong racecourse at the moment. But Jimmy, this is the section where things can go wrong quickly.
This is where all the gains and losses will be made. It can get very light up here, so you've really got to link up the pressure and stay out of those lulls.
On 3, 2.
Jack, is that how you're seeing it this very moment?
Pavement's sailing really well, very clean race. They're coming in on a lay now to go around the top mark, and if they get a nice puff, I think they're going to put some more distance on the Euroflex and CleanMade, who are about 20 seconds behind them. So Pavement really need to try and lay around the top mark. At the moment they're struggling, which will cost them.
Not laying the top mark means they're going to have to do an extra tack here while Euroflex is sending it in.
Medium pressure. 4 point. Copy.
This is going to feel like an eternity test. They've just fluffed one, and Euroflex and CleanMade are going to pounce ASAP, and Steve Thomas will be furious.
Thinking about 4 boards, guys.
What do you reckon? Got Nate there somewhere? Yeah.
Where do you see the best pressure?
Still all about the pressure here.
Jibe show, I reckon.
Talk on board Euroflex about whether they're going to have all 4 boards down and sail low towards the mark, or whether they're going to have 3. So they're opting for the windward board to go down at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, turning now.
Rolling straight into a jibe here.
And we've seen how quickly that margin has compressed from 3 football fields to just a couple of metres. The race is back on.
Go board.
Pavement just getting out first and getting into the new pressure first, so you should see that lead go back out to sort of where it was, about 20 seconds. Euroflex not far behind them, and the CleanMade doing a great job again. Go Olivia.
Okay, we're tacking then. Go forward.
Olivia Price deciding to tack onto lay to round the top left gate
3,
for the second
2,
time.
1, puff on now. Say again. Easy. Doesn't get any better out here, Steve.
Pavement loving it. They're in a winning position.
But ID will be hating this test. Their decision to go for the big main has blown up in their face.
Yeah, look, Nick, I think they're expecting it to be windier out on the course, and with the light air, they just haven't got enough sail area to get enough power in the boat to keep it foiling.
And we can see just how tricky those conditions are. Our front runner Pavement's got a lead of 20 seconds, and she's finding it hard in the shifting breezes, and it looks like CleanMade has got an anchor on too.
CleanMade had to drive straight away.
Yep. Taking off. Only one out here. Taking off.
As you see here, Tech 2 turn downwind, and once you get away, you get that first puff. It's often a case of the rich get richer. The further down the track you go, the more wind there is, and they'll just keep sailing away.
Asking to keep the weight in there, and it's costly because record points just rolled over the top of Tech 2.
Yeah, Nick, you can see the dark pressure line building across near the jetty. That's going to make a huge difference to the speed of these boats as they sail into it.
Almost 3 here, boys. Could be go 3 points. Unless we're jibing soon.
They're looking at 3-point foiling so they can sail higher up and chase the pressure.
It's a jibe in about 30 seconds, okay?
The pressure hits them there and they take off.
Little soft here, 2-1 soft. And then a large increase out here.
Very tricky when the breeze is so inconsistent. You've got to call it accurately so that the trimming and the steering's in time.
Massive puff electricity. Just got to watch them, yeah? Copy.
The capsize?
Yep.
Oh, that could prove costly for Pavement as Euroflex comes screaming back in contention. We thought she was out, she was in last, and now she's back in the party.
Oh, this is going to be a close crossing, Nick. Oh, Euroflex jives on top of them on their line there. Close racing. They haven't infringed. They've got
But
away
what
with
about
it.
record point as well? It's all turning to water out here in Geelong.
Love a line on here.
And Phil Robertson's again in the bad books. But the racing continues. Euroflex ahead.
It's all down the inside. It's a jive at the mark, at the finish.
They're coming through the bottom gate here on the second downwind. There's pressure on the inside, so both boats are wanting to jive as soon as they can to get out into that new line. You can see a lot of lift in the foils is needed to keep the boats flying in this 8 knots of breeze.
Good to see Sam Phillips, Neil Hunter. Everyone's okay. They're on the boat now, and you can see the rescue boat there ready to tow them up again.
It's always a good sight, Jimmy, knowing everyone's okay. And this battle, again, it's a leapfrogging contest.
Super tricky to be able to play your position and your tactical spot relative to the other boat here when the pressure's so up and down.
Just on now.
It looks like for now that Steve Thomas and the Pavement Trio are doing enough to keep Euroflex at bay, but this is where the pressure kicks in.
Yeah, so you can see the white gates in the picture there, and that's where they're racing to. So Nathan Outteridge trying to position himself inside Steve Thomas here, but they're in very different pressure, even though they're only 50 metres apart.
Can we get down to the mark, or are we jiving? Jiving.
Jiving right too?
Yep. Think about it.
And Tessa, these are the moments in the racing where the decisions are so paramount to get it right. Nathan Outteridge, an Olympic gold medalist, and himself not 100% sure.
Yeah, Nick, the more pressure, the more they build their apparent wind and the lower they can sail. So picking this final angle approach into the bottom gates is very difficult here. Both doing a lot of manoeuvres, which is going to slow them down and bring them really close together. But Pavement maintaining the lead. They're both rounding the left gate here as they start to turn the boat up through that max power zone onto the final upwind of the race.
Well, Euroflex, they're dodging everything in their path at the moment, and they've got their eyes set on the top prize. They'll take on Pavement. Who'll win? We'll find out next.
Go board.
Here we go. So you see Pavement getting that windward foil down, and they're going to try and tack. So they're going to try and lead Nathan up on that port tack up the racetrack. So Steve Thomas obviously thinks he can lay that start line, and Nathan Outteridge thinks, no, you've got to go a bit further. So he's going to put it in the oven for a little longer.
Love that, Jimmy, putting it in the oven. Hopefully nothing gets burnt out there. As we see, Pavement and Euroflex just 5 seconds splitting these two at the moment.
They were happy with that tack on board Euroflex. They can see pressure. They're calling it coming on the inside there. They're trying to get into a high mode to minimise their distance leading up to the middle gate on this final upwind.
Look at the speed test. They're building.
And clean mate, ID's still at the top marks, struggling. Clean mate, still got a while.
Okay, where's the bottom marks?
Bottom marks, straight through here, Parko.
Righto.
Quite a long way to extend through.
Aidan Menzies and Luke Parkinson talking shop, trying to emulate these two, Pavement and Euroflex.
Yeah, so as we know, what we're looking for is that centre hull to be as close to the water as possible. We don't want it to touch. When it touches down, it's like glue. It just grips your boat, pulls the boat speed back. So this is a competition of who can keep their airtime higher without that middle hull flying right up too high off the water. And you can see Nathan Outteridge rolling straight over Steve Thomas here. He's got that extra money in the bank. He can put the bow down, spend a bit more, just keep the boat going faster.
Really close racing. It looks like that inside pressure is coming down to Euroflex and they're getting it just before Pavement here. The breeze is building. They're 3 out on the traps here. You can see Ian lean in on the bow there just to pull the controls on a bit tighter, flatten the sail off, and they're pretty comfortably flying now.
Yeah. Happy to put the bow down so we can keep leaving. And it's left angle in front.
On board Pavement, they're pretty confident that the new pressure is going to come from the left. They may have made a mistake initiating the tack early on in this leg of the course and allowing Euroflex to sail on their inside there. In the sailing textbook, to cover your opponent, you want to stay in between them and the next mark, and Pavement has opted to risk and have leverage to leeward.
It's pretty good this way at the moment. Yeah.
Hearing from Nathan Outeridge there, he practically wrote the textbook, and Paul Campbell-James needs to read it because he's in 5th position. The only boat behind him is the one that's sinking.
Yeah, bow down 2. They've gone bow down. Match. Soft going here.
So it's just a pure drag race right now. You can see the 2 boats less than 100 metres apart. There we go, Steve Thomas tacking, and Nathan's doing exactly what Steve did to him previously, and he's just going to tack right on top of him, try and stay in the same wind that he's going to get. But this race is going to be won or lost to this top mark. Who can get in and out without getting caught by that lull and stuck at the top mark?
Euroflex is prioritising having that covering position over pavement as they approach the top mark for the last time. Lowering down on the trapeze here. Pavement's got to sail quite a low mode and keep it fast to be able to get back in front.
Going soft.
Well, just as pavement are going soft, the Euroflex have had their sailing Viagra and they're going right past them at the moment.
Great analogy there, Nick. Pretty funny. All right, back on board Euroflex here. They're really flying. Both boats have got to give this everything they can.
Oh, we got a capsized boat.
Sometimes when you're in the lead, you're not aware of exactly what's happening behind you. They've now turned and they've seen record point is pointing downwards. All they care at the moment, Euroflex, is keeping that lead to pavement.
We're almost there, boys.
Almost on the final lay to approach the top mark.
1 and turning. Sorry, a little aggressive.
Not the best tack on this final lay line. They have been conservative here. They're slightly overlaid to maintain that covering position over pavement.
Keep pressing. Got him here, boys. Nice.
Yeah, look, the pavement lads, super impressive here. They're really hanging in with Nathan. Nathan's doing a great job of linking that pressure together. And look, you can see Steve's closed the gap. Steve's chasing down Nathan Outeridge. He was his training partner for a little bit before the Rio Olympics, so he had a bit of chat that he sort of knows his style and knows how he's sailing, and he's doing a really good job right now.
Knows him inside out and looking to turn him inside out, but it's Euroflex at the moment that are building speed and taking off. Can they carry that pace across to the finish line? We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, like 10 or 15 seconds probably.
Euroflex, our series front runner, travelling at pace and looking to shut the gate on pavement, 60 metres ahead at the moment.
Going around this mark. Possible early jibe. Go board.
Pavement looking to undercut them here, going for an early jibe.
Okay. And driving. Smoke the jib. Yep.
Pavement jibe setting here immediately around the mark. They've shown they're going to battle this out all the way to the end here.
And they're going to battle from the front because they've just scooped in and caught Euroflex napping. That lead has now changed hands. An 18-second deficit is now a handy lead.
3. Gust on. Need weight. Need weight. Need rake, Steve.
Euroflex has rolled over the top of pavement to take the lead.
Come on, boys. You were saying weight. Yeah, I was saying both.
Confusion on board.
Right.
Not sure whether they're needing more weight up on the side of the boat or more lift in the rudder foils.
They're 3, guys. We're 4. We're struggling. Pressure in front. Yes.
Is this the race slipping away from pavement? Euroflex are flying on their way to the finish line. This has got to hurt.
Plenty happening down here. We've got the battle for first and second not far away from the finishing line, but behind me we've got the ID. They've pulled out of this race to change mainsails. They're a bit underpowered and they've made the decision to put the big gear up for the next race.
Euroflex has found a gear 5. They are sending it here in the pressure. They've got the breakthrough they've been wanting all throughout the race.
Now driving in 8 seconds.
After them?
Around them. Yep, straight around them.
Okay, anytime.
They've scrambled from last. They're in first, closing in on another victory here, Euroflex. Probably the hardest fought for them. Who would have thought from last place they could come back and be closing in on the line? Glenn Ashby in front of his family and friends, flying high in the Geelong sky.
Okay.
You beauty.
Soaking through.
The finish boat there with the orange flag. They're about to cross the line.
All right, we had to work for that one, boys.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done, Goobs.
Well, a bit of relief there for the guys on board Euroflex. Their undefeated run continues. 24 World Championships between the three of them, and they relied on every single one to get them home.
Finish is 90 left. Pressure's back inside.
They've got that pressure they were wanting at the top of the course here. The breakthrough's just come a little too late, sending it now on the final lay line to their finish.
Can go easy, boys.
Nothing easy about that assignment for pavement. They gave Euroflex plenty of headaches, and this is a well-fought, well-earned second-place finish for Steve Thomas, Reese Mara and Dan Morris-Tess.
Yeah, good performance, Nick. Tight racing. 2 small mistakes from the team pavement. They didn't cover when they had the opportunity on the upwind, and that mistake with the rudder lift and the weight confusion early on in the downwind really cost them the lead.
The post-mortem will start sooner rather than later, knowing Steve Thomas and the boys. They don't muck around, they'll dive straight into it.
We nailed it on the early jibe out of the line, out of the top mark. That was good. Just got, just lost our process of switching the boards, getting them all good.
So looking to make some tweaks before the final race. Make sure they get all over those little hiccups.
I'm sort of relying on feel. Yeah, but you got no idea what the rate is when you're using fast to accelerate.
Yeah. Okay, so potentially just have to work out what the priority is.
You could grab the button and put it in, or
Teamwork's critical. You've got to get the sail trim matching the rudder lift that you put on the foils, and to get it working throughout the turn so you can get the boats up and flying. On board Tech 2, back to the race.
Cannot win a boat, can lose the boat.
Copy.
Not always what you want to hear, Nick.
No, what a great line from Aidan Menzies there, the main sheet hand. We could use a few of these ourselves. Maybe you should write some down for us. Give us a few pointers to help spice up the broadcast.
Got to protect their position here. They can't afford to drop back.
It's nice and cruising into the finish here, guys.
See, I don't know if the rake's working, but the flag's not working.
Some issue with the rudder foil lift control not working as well as he'd like. Four-point foiling.
Yeah, we're just really... I think we've got to go 2-string. Let's go person out. Yeah.
Luke Parkinson calling for more weight out on the trapeze. He needs more power in the rig. He wants to get this SuperFoiler going faster.
Yeah, definitely better with 2 on wire. Stretch legs, boys.
Bit cheeky telling the crew to stretch and get their weight right out here.
Especially for Sam Newton. He was involved in a nasty crash in Adelaide. He'll be feeling really ginger. He's doing well to just be out there at the moment.
Okay, let's just pick a good gust here.
Looking for a good time to jibe to get their final lay line into the finish.
I think we'll go quite a way here.
Most likely I'm going to fall through more road,
Yeah.
Going in front.
There's a good one out here, eh? I think if we go...
There's the marks.
Yeah, copy, but just keep going here.
Got one going inside you now.
Okay, stand by. 3, 2, 1, driving.
Luke Parkinson doing the Babe Ruth, pointing to the breeze.
Wait, right forward, yeah, nice.
And the team respond accordingly. This is Tech 2 closing in on 3rd position. It's an incredible comeback from the destruction of Adelaide.
Wait out, Sam. Yeah.
To returning in Geelong and making it look oh so easy for our 3rd position here. Sam Newton will be loving this.
Oh, that view of the boat just lifting out of the water, Nick, is just amazing as they've got their final run. You can see the finish in the screen between the orange flag and the black and white pin.
3, 2, 1, jibing.
Ambitious stuff from Luke Parkinson. Stand by for foiling jibe. And almost, Tessa, almost.
All right, nice guys, this is 3rd. Keep that. Solid.
It's a keeper.
Hard to know what to do at the top there, that first lap, kind of.
Here with the Dream Team, Nath, that was probably the best race of the series so far. Tell us what the battle was like.
Yeah, it was really tight. You can see the course is quite shifty, and we found a few holes and got a few penalties that we weren't too happy about. But, you know, we managed to claw our way back into that race, and Steve and his boys put up a really good fight, and still on that last run, it was anyone's race. So, you know, boys worked really hard to get us around.
How did you get through them at the top mark? What happened up there?
We just had a little bit of better pressure on the right-hand side of the track, sort of coming out of the streets of Geelong, and Glennie was talking to one of the locals this morning and they said you want us to be on the right, it's going to come down the main street, and we found one of those puffs to get into the lead.
Bit of local knowledge coming to the fore.
Absolutely, you know, we've been here a week and been talking to all the locals, and they're definitely giving us lots of opinions, so taking it on board.
Nice work, guys. Keep it up. Good luck for the next race.
Thanks, guys.
Not sure if Euroflex need any luck. Cleanmade need a bit of breeze and a bit of luck to push them to the finish.
Okay, when we approach that top, we've just got to try and figure out the best way out from under this marina.
That's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, I know. I just think we need to think about it a little bit more.
Just try harder, Josh. Try harder, buddy.
Thank you. That was good though. Like, we sailed through all the gusts and lulls really well. Checked on the inside pressure, all that. Like, there were a lot of very positives out of that.
The truth-telling experience continues on pavement as we take a look at the results after race 4. Euroflex just edging out pavement, Tech 2 with third, Cleanmade on 10 minutes 29 behind, with Record Point and ID both unable to finish.